What's up, everybody? It's the homie Truth Teller, the Street Reporter, and today I got a topic that I'm going to talk about that's a little different. This is a topic that I be asked a lot inside of my DM. A lot of people be asking me this. I guess they want to know because they recall this happening in Chicago, and I think this is cool because I like to break down stories of things that happened a little while ago that we all heard of but really never understood it. I actually been looking at this case for about 7 months now. This was one of the cases that I was going to tackle for a long time. I think today is only fitting to tackle it because I think it's time to kind of step out and talk about other things that's happening since we've been heavily inside of the drill culture. But a little while ago, it was 2 people who ended up losing their life and also a 7-year-old boy, I believe. They were kin to Jennifer Hudson. A lot of people wanted to know about that because Jennifer Hudson's mother ended up losing her life. Jennifer Hudson's brother ended up losing his life, and her nephew ended up losing his life. And a lot of people believe that her sister, boyfriend, husband had did it. His name is William Balfour. We're going to take him to the board today and kind of explain to you what happened that day. I'm going to give you some background and kind of give you my conclusion. Now, understand that he did interviews already kind of talking about his innocence, claiming he didn't do this. I done read paperwork. This was also a trending story. This was all around the world. So getting information from this wasn't very hard. I actually talked to a lot of people who knew William Balfour. You got to understand, this happened in Inglewood, right in the motherfucking hood of Chicago. This shit ain't happening in goddamn Richland. They was right in the hood. Jennifer Hudson's mother didn't want to leave, no matter how big and famous she got. They wanted to stay there. Now, I heard rumors that they ain't really want to stay there. They was just there. But I'm telling you what I seen in interviews. They were saying that, moms wanted to stay where her roots were at. So we're going to take William Balfour to the board today. We're going to speak on a lot of things about him because I really didn't have a lot of background on this guy. You got to understand, he wasn't a drill rapper. He didn't know Chief Keef, Duck, or nobody like that. So he wasn't really on the internet. But I did talk to a lot of people who told me that he was involved in that gang shit. And a lot of people from that neighborhood know him. We just knew him about the Jennifer Hudson shit. But a lot of people say he was out there on that shit. I learned that he was a GD. So he did have gang affiliations. He was a gangster disciple. He had previous cases, so he had a past, okay? And they kind of claimed that the past was violent. He had robberies and shit like that in his past. To be honest with you, that's all I really had. He was the husband of a woman named Julia, which is the sister of Jennifer Hudson. Okay, Jennifer Hudson, all right? So this is like all the information I was able to gather before the events that happened. I'm not going to lie, it was once you got to seeing the interviews and once it went trending, they started talking about him and his wife relationship and shit like that. But that only came later, so I didn't really have enough information on this. I'm not going to lie, this shit kind of confused me though because I think this case was done kind of right. I think it's things involved in the case that I do think is a little jittery and a little weird with the police because they had to figure this case out. The mayor had pressure on them. The governor had pressure on them. A lot of people had pressure on them to figure this case out because a little boy was involved. We're going to get to that. The police is claiming. Now, this is the part that threw me off is because when I seen this, I said, oh my God, okay, I understand someone getting that angry, but to involve a little boy kind of threw me off. But the police is claiming that October 24th, William came to Julia's house. And that's what kind of confused me when they say came to Julia's house. If that was his wife and that was their husband, then that's their house, right? I can see where some of this confusion and dysfunction came from. But William said in the interview that they wasn't together, so I guess it wasn't no dysfunction. But I'm going to tell you that did kind of confuse me though, But they're saying that he came to this house October 24th, angry as hell, mad as hell, because she wanted a divorce. Okay, and she was seeing somebody new. Now, A lot of us have been through that situation where they girl come to you and want to move on some bogus shit, want to leave you and just do them. Now, some people can't take that. You know what I'm saying? Me personally, I think you guys got to fix your problem out, man. Y'all got to figure that shit out. Don't get to breaking up and running out and doing dirty shit to each other. Bad situations. If you can get through that shit build character. That shit build bonds. I believe relationships get bigger bonds when they go through bad things. If it don't involve too much of the bad shit, you get what I'm saying? But that's what I believe. And sometimes you guys could get through that. It's situations where you can't get through it and it's just over with. I'm not sure if William could deal with that, personally. But before we get into that, that's what the police is kind of claiming too. But I'm going to tell you why I feel the same way, to be honest with you, a little bit later. But the police is claiming that William went to this house October 24th, okay? They're claiming that he knocked on the door, run the doorbell. The brother, Jason, answered the door. Soon he opened up the door. Black, 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 black. Blinked them up. That's what the police claiming. Jason was killed. Police claiming William entered the house, got in, he seen the mother. Jennifer Hudson mother. A old lady. I ain't talking about a old lady, bro. Not a young lady with the hairstyles, with a bad attitude and all that shit. A old lady. I think her name was Donnerson or something like that. I'm going to just say Don, okay? Don was killed. All right? The police says as he enters the house, he sees the 7-year-old boy, Julian. Julian get took. Okay? Now, it's an Amber Alert is put out in Chicago. We all know about Amber Alerts, okay? It's an Amber Alert put out that a little boy has been taken. 2 people was killed. October 27th, okay? October 27th, Julian was found on the west side of Chicago inside of like a truck, shot multiple times. He was killed. They end up finding a murder weapon somewhere on the west side of Chicago. The police end up finding that weapon somehow. It's crazy. They're claiming that when they got up with William Balfour, because the streets get to talking, the parents get to accusing William. Not the parents, but people in their family, people in the neighborhoods get to accusing William of doing this, especially Julia. She feels this nigga did that. Okay? So, they finally get up with William. Okay, they finally get up with him. They claim that he had gun residue. They claim he had gun residue all on his hand, all on his shirt, all on the steering wheel. They're claiming not only did he have gun residue on him, they're claiming that they found bullet residue, gun residue, and the keys to the car, the keys to that truck that the boy was in. Now, I'm not going to lie. William ended up doing an interview, and he said that they planted that on him. And it's a piece of me that feels like they did plant that on him. I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like, catching him 3-4 days later, for him to still have the gun residue on him, I'm pretty sure he might have cleaned that shit off. To say that he had the keys in his pocket, I'm not sure. Maybe he did. Maybe he was that dumb to do that shit. Niggas be out here wilding out at the moment. But I just feel like, to make sure they had him stumped, they put that shit on him. I believe that in that instance. I'm sorry about that. But he ended up getting convicted. His appeal was overturned. I mean, not overturned. It stayed. The Supreme Court didn't even want to take the case. So this guy's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. He's serving 3 life sentences. 3 life sentences plus 120 years. So he'll never get home from jail. When I look at this and I put all my homework together, I want to be honest with you, okay? The fact that somebody opened up the door and it was the brother and he was black, 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 black. Say, okay, maybe it was a home invasion. Maybe it was something that went bad. We can't just put that on William. The brother getting killed, he opened the door. We can't really say it was him. The mother was killed. Now, this ain't like one of those mothers who's a young hip-hop mother who be wearing them clothes and them little haircuts and shit and be wearing them hairstyles, putting the red all in the hair, wearing the big braids. This was like a mother. I feel like in order to put a bullet in a mother head, it's personal. It's personal. And I'm pretty sure Jennifer Hudson's mother ain't out here gang banging and owing no drug dealer no monies. You know, that shit feel personal to me. A 7-year-old boy, now Julian, the fact that he wasn't killed that same day on the 24th leads me to believe that whoever took that boy knew who he was and debated about what to do with him. He had to kill the little boy because the little boy knew who he was, and he knew no matter what the little boy say, he was going to tell the police. He going to tell the police that you did that shit to his people. He going to tell the police that you did the shit to his grandma and you did the shit to his uncle. He gonna tell the police you did this shit, no matter how much he cry and say, I ain't gonna tell, I promise I ain't gonna tell, just let me home and go. William knew that boy was gonna tell. That boy was killed 3 days later. I feel the fact that an old lady was killed and then a boy was killed 3 days later, which means this was personal. I feel like the person who killed these people knew these people. In my opinion, William did this. In my opinion. Now, I can't guarantee that, and I hate to point this guy out and say that this guy did this, because sometimes you can't be framed. I'm not going to say you can't be framed. You can be framed. But the fact of the matter that the police was looking for this guy, for this murder, he didn't turn himself in. He was caught. He actually tried to escape. This boy was killed days later. An older woman was killed. They were inside of the home. I don't believe this was no stranger. If this was some stranger, this was some spur of the moment shit, then I believe he would have got killed on the same day. I believe they had to figure this out, and I believe the day was his ass, in my opinion. I believe, William snapped on some love shit. I believe this was a case of, as crazy as it might seem, but y'all were fucking with his heart. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with William Hart. With Will Hart. Now, I'm not saying you didn't have the right to fuck with his heart. He might have been a bad guy. He might have been cheating every day. He might have been doing all kind of shit. But in his mind, they were fucking with his heart. And he couldn't take the fact that he was finna lose his family and lose his girl. And I understand that. I'm not going to lie. I understand it, but I don't understand him killing those people. I don't understand that. I think that was some devil shit. To be honest with you, to kill a 7-year-old boy and pump bullets in his head make me want to call you a bitch-ass nigga, to be honest with you. To be honest with you. But, I want to be honest, too, and say I always feel like God give people an extra opportunity. Now, you might have to get that extra opportunity in that jail. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying God always give people a second opportunity. Now, you might not be able to live that opportunity out on earth, but if you do right and repent strong enough and really show the forgiveness, you might be able to live that opportunity out in the second land up there. You get what I'm saying, in my opinion? But in my opinion, I think this was a love triangle. I think this was very dysfunctional, a very dysfunctional late relationship. I think everything is dysfunctional. I don't think nobody's perfect. But in my opinion, I believe, the fact that he was losing his family, I just believe this was a crime of passion. I believe, he snapped. I believe at that moment he couldn't take it anymore. He had enough, and he ended up killing those people on some wild, crazy ass shit, and he's never gonna see daylight again. I don't know if that was worth it, brother. Especially you're gonna take out some shit on the old ass lady, man, and you're gonna take some shit out on the young ass man, and then take that shit out on her brother. Of course they gonna ride with her. That's their family. They ain't finna ride with you, nigga. They seen your ass screaming, boy. They seen your ass in that tough as hell, slapping her all up, beating her up, all the kind of shit, driving her car, taking all that kind of shit, boy, cashing out her link card and all kind of shit, boy. They seen that shit, boy. Fuck you talking about, so they roll with their family, man. I think you took it too far when you took that lady life, in my opinion, and took that little boy life, and took that man life. But subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know if you want me to start doing more topics that's not drill influence and shit like that. Start dropping titles in the comment section. Let me know what stories I need to talk about, what stories I done missed out on. I appreciate the love. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, y'all. It's the homie truth. Blah, 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 blah.